Hey guys, this is Abhishek from gadgetstool.com, and today we are going to tell you some of the unique tips and tricks, some of the hidden tips and tricks, some of the well-known tips and tricks for the Samsung Galaxy S4. And in this video we are going to be very basic when it comes to the explanation. So for those who think that these tips and tricks are basic, they can always skip the video. But for those who think that there might be something interesting in this particular video, they can keep on watching this video. In this video we are going to tell you about all the things which you have, all the options, all the features which you have, which you can use on Samsung Galaxy S4 to make this device good enough for you in day-to-day usage, to make this smartphone good enough, smart enough for your specific use. Would like to say that these tips and tricks are going to be very extensive, so it is going to be a long video. Now to start with the tips and tricks, first of all we would like to go into the settings menu, and if we go into the settings menu over here, you will see all the options over here, and there are some more options as you can see over here, the connect and share, which actually allow you to exchange the data in between different devices whenever you touch the screen. So how this thing is going to happen is that once you enable this feature, if you go into the settings over here, whenever the NFC is on, you can send and receive data including picture, videos with the other NFC devices which are supported with this particular device using the Android Beam functionality. So you can also make an NFC payment wherever it is supported. And if we just disable this feature and go out, the second feature as far as the connectivity is concerned is the S-Beam feature, which again will use the NFC or the Wi-Fi direct feature on Samsung Galaxy S4, and you will be able to transfer data including pictures, videos from the gallery to other Samsung devices and other devices which support the same Wi-Fi direct functionality which is supported on this device as well. Another way to share the content from this device is that you can use the nearby devices feature, and you can enable the file sharing on. So once you enable the file sharing on, it will use the Wi-Fi connectivity to share the contents which are there on this device. So you can share the videos, photos and music from this device with other devices, and you can specify the allowed device list. So if you have any other device which is supporting a DLNA protocol, you can enable that particular device, and once you enable that particular device, the device will be able to access the content which you have shared from this device, specifically like pictures, videos, photos and music. There is no way you can actually specifically specify which files you would like to share. If you specify videos, all the videos will be directly shared, including the videos which you have on your SD card as well as on the phone memory, and same goes for the photos and music. Whenever you are actually downloading content via DLNA protocol from other devices, you can specify whether you would like to download that particular file, picture, video from the other device which support DLNA to the device memory or to the SD card over here. Now the another option which we see on Samsung Galaxy S4 is the screen mirroring feature. Now in this feature, whenever you want to portray the display from this device to a Wi-Fi TV, you can enable this option and then make sure that the other TV which you want to use as an external display, that should also be connected to the same Wi-Fi network. And once you have both of these devices connected, you can select that TV from here, and in this way you will be able to portray the from this device to another TV. There is no wired connectivity required. This will all happen through the Wi-Fi. Another good option which I see in Samsung Galaxy S4 is the connectivity to the Kais software which you have on your PC installed, and you can connect your phone to Kais software using Wi-Fi again. So if your PC is connected to the same Wi-Fi network to which the Samsung Galaxy S4 is connected, the Kais will automatically detect your device without you required to connect the device to the PC using a wire. If we take a look over the lock screen option over here, if we actually tell you about the different features and options you get in the lock screen, first of all you get like all these options in the lock screen. You can always swipe to unlock, you can use your face to unlock from the lock screen, you can use face as well as voice to unlock the phone, you can always specify the pattern which you have seen on other Android phones, you can specify a PIN which will be a 4-digit password, and you can also specify an alphanumeric password, or you can set it as none. If we go out, And if we talk about the multiple widgets which you can place on the lock screen, you can enable multiple widgets. That means you can select multiple applications, including the camera shortcut, including the messaging application shortcuts, and you can always place them on the lock screen. So you can specify the favorite apps on the lock screen. You can specify the clock or a personal message. So this is how it will look like by default. If you enable the clock way, this is how it will look like. So if you enable the personal message, you can display a personal message directly on the lock screen, and if you specify the lock option, this is how it will display, and in that case the personal message will not get displayed. You can also specify this personal message over here. So right now it is live companion. You can change the font of it, you can change the size of the font and the style of the font. So whatever you want to display on the lock screen, you can always change that. For example, if you want to display gadgets2.com on the lock screen, so if we write gadgets to use, and if we change the font from the Cool Jazz to Samsung Sans or this one, and we can specify the color, the background color basically, and we can specify the foreground color as well. So let me just specify the foreground color. Let me select this one, and for the background color let me just select, and once we do this, you will see the changes come into effect. So on the lock screen you have this message, which is a custom message which we have just specified, and now it is displaying on the lock screen. So this is how you can specify a custom personal message on your device to make it more personal. Now when it comes to the shortcuts which you can place on the lock screen, by default you have these applications supported for the shortcuts. You can always add more applications in these. So basically you need to tap and then you need to delete it, and if you want to add more application, maximum 5 application shortcut you can specify. So all those applications which are installed on your device, you can place them on the lock screen itself as a shortcut, and once you do it, you will see the changes come into effect. So if we go on the lock screen now, we have all the application, the default application which were there, and we have added MX Player as of now on the lock screen, so we can easily launch MX Player directly from here. You can also specify the unlock effect. So right now it is the light effect which we have. You can specify it to be the ripple effect, or you can always specify none as well. So if you specify it to be a ripple effect, whenever you unlock the phone from the lock screen, you will see a ripple effect, as you can see, and you can always specify none as well. So if we specify the help text, you can always specify a help text which will show up on the lock screen. Now this will make sure that whenever you want to unlock your device using the wake up command, you can actually use the wake up command whenever the swipe unlock is enabled. You can enable this option over here in case you want to wake up the phone with the swipe unlock is enabled, and you want to wake up the phone with the voice command as well. So in this way you can unlock the phone either by using the swipe gesture, which you will do with the finger, or you can unlock the device using voice as well. So these are the wake up voice commands which you can specify. So if you say hi Galaxy, the device will wake up. You can also specify more options for the wake up command. So you can launch camera, you can check the schedule, you can play music, record voice directly by using the wake up command from the lock screen. So this will make sure that the wake up command does work from the lock screen. So in order to make them work, you need to check this option over. Now if you take a look over the display settings over here under the wallpaper, the device supports wallpaper for the home screen, lock screen, and home and lock screen both. You can specify the same wallpaper. You can also enable multi-window on this device. That means you will have this kind of a UI which you might have seen on Samsung Galaxy Note 2. You can always enable and disable this feature. So in case you want to run 2 applications in the same screen, this is how you can actually run 2 applications and keep using them. Okay. Again, this will also work in the horizontal mode, as you can see, and also in the vertical mode. So this is how you can actually enable multi-view and use this feature on this device. In case you want to hide the multi-view bar, you just need to tap and hold over the back key, and the multi-view bar will appear and disappear. Now under the screen mode, you can specify what kind of display you want. So if you want a vibrant display, you can select the dynamic over here. You have standard, professional, photo, movie. So you can also specify movie over here on the adapt display, as you can see. Now here under the adapt display, as you can see, this mode automatically optimizes the color and saturation and sharpness of the display. Under gallery, the camera, S browser, video, watch on, Samsung books and playbooks. So basically the display will automatically adjust the brightness level, the saturation levels and the sharpness of the colors whenever you are using these applications. So once you have the adapt display, it will be better for your device because it will save the battery. So whenever you are watching a movie, it will make sure that colors are vibrant enough so that you get a better experience. So whenever you are reading a book using the playbooks, it will make sure that the colors are dim so that you have a better reading experience. So adapt display should be on. It will definitely help you to save much more battery on this. Now here we have an additional option which says increase legibility, that will enhance the overall clarity of the text. So in case you have any problem with the device, you can always control over the font style as well as the font size. You can make it large if the device has a very small font. In case still you are not able to figure out what is actually there on the screen, you can check this option over here, increase legibility. This will enhance the overall clarity of the text because it will make the text little bit bolder than it was previously, so that you can easily read the text on the device either under settings or on the home screen. As you can see, under display settings, under the mode settings, you have the option to adjust the key light duration for the touch capacitive button, which is right now 1.5 seconds. You can always turn it off to save the battery because you already know that there are two capacitive touch buttons. And another thing is the display the battery percentage. So another option is that you can display the battery percentage. So if you enable this option over here, you will see the percentage of battery left into the device over here on the status bar, which will give you a better idea about the overall battery left on the device. You can also select this option to go to the edit screen after capturing the screenshot. So if you check this option and you capture a screenshot like this on this device, it will open the edit mode for that particular application so that you can edit the photo and change the color or other things about the photo, and then you can share it from here directly. Is the auto adjust screen tone. So and by default this option will be checked, and once you have this option enabled, it will automatically adjust the screen tone colors as per the images which you are viewing. So if you are viewing some high definition images, it will make sure that the colors are good enough so that you get a better feel of it, the image. And if the image is kind of dull in terms of the colors, it will again adjust the screen tone. Another thing is the high touch sensitivity. So increase the overall sensitivity of the touch screen by using the high touch sensitivity option, which is over here under display. So if you are using this device with a glove, you can enable this option so that the screen becomes sensitive, so that you can use the phone with gloves on your hand. So the touch screen is little bit more sensitive to the touch as compared to previous mode, as you can see. So I can use the device using these gloves on my hand, which is a good thing. I can also go to the all apps drawer and I can also launch applications from here, as you can see. Especially in the winter time, this feature is going to help a lot. Now when it comes to the LED indicator, you do have an LED indicator over here on this device, which will glow red whenever the device is charging. It will glow red as well whenever the device is running out of low battery. It will glow blue whenever you have missed calls, messages or other app notifications on the device. But you need to check all these options to make sure that you get all those notifications through the LED. And you can also enable the LED to glow blue whenever you are doing voice recording on this device once you check this option. Now this device does have LED indicator option, and as you can see, sound settings which we have over here, you can always adjust the overall vibration intensity of the device whenever you are receiving calls or anything. You can also specify the vibration call pattern. As you can see, you have different call patterns over here. You can also create a new call pattern as per your comfortability. So you can create a vibration pattern on this device and use it later on. You can specify a name and then you can use that pattern whenever you are receiving calls or messages. You can also change the default notification sound over here, but you cannot create a new notification sound because there is no option for that. And if we go back, you can always control whether the device should vibrate whenever it is ringing. You can also disable the dialing keypad tone, which is quite good because most of the people don't like it. When it comes to the touch sounds, you can also disable them. This will again save the battery. When it comes to the screen lock sound, you can also disable that. And one thing which most of the people who use Android phone don't like is the haptic feedback. So the device will vibrate whenever you are using the touch capacitor buttons which are there on the body of the phone. On certain UI interaction, you can always disable it, and this will again give you a better experience while using Samsung Galaxy S4. Now when it comes to using this device as a basic mode, you have a home screen mode. The standard mode looks like this, in which you have some widgets and you have the icons, the Google search bar over here, which will launch the Google Now and other search function. Whereas you have a easy mode as well, especially for those who are not very much used to using Android or a smartphone. They can have this kind of a UI, and once you apply this kind of home screen mode, the phone will become very basic in terms of the overall UI, so that the icons are big enough. Especially for the old age people, this feature is quite good, as they see the icons quite big and they don't have any problem in recognizing the icon, as well as the text below the icon is also pretty big. So the device becomes kind of basic in terms of the overall look and feel. Some people may not like it, but for the old age people who are not much used to using smartphones, they can use this UI. Let's take a look over the call options which we get on this device. So you can always specify an auto reject mode, so you can make sure that the device is in auto reject mode whenever you are unable to take calls. You can specify the auto reject mode numbers over here. You can specify it for some specific numbers whenever you receive a call, or you can always specify for all the numbers as well, which is again good. You can specify the auto reject list over here. You can specify the contacts from which you would like to reject the call whenever they call you on this device. And when it comes to the messages, you can specify the auto reject messages over here. You have some auto reject messages over here. You can also create one of your own, which could be a personalized message which you would like to set for some specific contact again, or for all. You can also answer the calls using voice. So if you are unable to touch the device, if you are unable to take the call with your hand, if your hands are dirty, or if you're doing something else, then in that case you can use your voice to control, and you can answer the call using voice. Another thing is that you can always end the call by using the power and sleep key over here. So you can always end the call by pressing the power and sleep key over here, whereas they can also use the home button key to answer the calls whenever the call is coming. So in case you don't want to touch the screen whenever the call is coming, if you enable this option, you can pick the call by pressing the home button. Option which we have here, which is automatically enabled on this device by default, is the turn off the screen during calls. So whenever you are holding the device like this on your ears, the display will automatically turn off, because the proximity sensor will sense that you are actually holding the device near to your ears, and the display will get turned off. This will again save the battery, as well as it will again avoid any kind of annoyance to the consumer. Also it will it will avoid any kind of annoyance to the user. Now, when it comes to the call alerts, you can always specify whether the caller device will vibrate whenever the recipient answers the phone. So if you are calling someone and the recipient answers the phone and he picks the call or she picks the call, you will get a vibration on the device that the call has been picked, and this will be definitely helpful for many people out there. When it comes to the call and vibration, you will also get a vibration on the device whenever the call on which you are on this device has just ended. If the receiver has actually ended the call, or you have ended the call, you will get call end vibration. Which you will get is the call connect tone. That means whenever the call is connected to the receiver, you will get a tone on the earpiece, so you will get to know the call is connected. You can also specify the minute minder. That means after every minute you will get a kind of audio notification through the earphones, so that you get to know that how many minutes are there. So that you will also get to know that how many minutes has been passed since you are talking on the phone.